DNVR Broncos live coming to you from Studio X, where the X stands for exception. As in, today was the exception to the rule at Broncos training camp. We'll explain why in just a second. First, a shout out to our presenting sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook. Shout out DraftKings Sportsbook. Go get your bets in. If you're a degenerate, you want to bet on the Hall of Fame game tonight, go ahead and do it. I'm taking the over, which is a very counterintuitive thing to do.
Yes, that
when
is.
it comes to the Hall of Fame game, the worst football game in all of sports. But
So what is the over?
30.5.
Okay, that's why you're taking it.
And check this out. I looked at the depth charts because I am a degenerate. And
I'm surrounded by two degens right now.
some of the things that I found to be notable. Kyle Sloter will be getting lots of play for the Jags. He's a preseason legend, so he's probably going to throw a couple tuds.
Is he a starter?
I don't know who's starting.
I don't think so. That would be my guess. No way.
The top two aren't. Beathard and Beat Hard and Trevor Lawrence aren't playing.
Oh, really?
So I'm not
So it's
sure.
down to
Maybe it is
him
Sloter.
and
Mullins?
No, Mullins is on the Raiders side, and he is also a legend. So I'm just like, these guys are going to toss a couple.
Yeah. Okay. With those starting quarterbacks, I like it.
Dre and I have a bet, shot of Malort on Monday's show. Monday Malort. If whoever wins, he's got the under, I've got the over.
I hope you guys are doing a 9 a.m. show on Monday.
Nope, 2:50.
Oh, okay. Well, that would have made it even better.
That would have.
Monday morning, Malort.
19 points in the Hall of Fame game last year.
Yep.
24 before that.
Yep.
33 the game before that.
that the
38 before
Broncos?
that. 17. Broncos were the 24.
Okay.
So I mean,
Electric
they've
finish.
been around
Juwan
there.
Williams or
Juwan-
Juwan Winfrey
Yes.
couldn't take him over the top.
No, he could.
But, I mean, just over the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vic had kidney stones.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
hospital
Game?
That's
before.
right.
Yeah.
A lot of storylines.
What an era.
And
So anyways,
there's some storylines tonight, too. I mean, you got Josh going back home to where he played football.
Josh McDaniels
Yep.
Yeah.
going back to, he grew up in Canton or something?
He grew up in Canton.
That'll
and
be the
he
last
played,
time he ever goes there.
And probably. And he played football there.
At like
at
Canton High School?
At that stadium.
No
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
Wow. Probably sucked. Okay. Shout out DraftKings Sportsbook. Go bet on, degenerate things like the
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game, which is, I mean, it is the worst football game. Like, I would legitimately rather watch D3 bottom of the barrel football than the Hall of Fame game.
So then let's get to it. Henry, are you watching it?
Oh, I've been planning my week around this. Absolutely. It's been 6 months since we've gotten an NFL game.
You're disgusting. Ryan, are you watching it?
It's hard for I should be excluded from this because I have plans like throughout the. So like I have a meeting at 7:00 like that,
But if there was a big Thursday night game, you may move the meeting around. You may make sure that you're there for it.
I know what I would be doing is just watching it during the meeting.
Okay, well, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, you would make it happen.
I'm
for
not-
a big NFL game, like Week 1.
I'm not making any
opening
promises.
Thursday night game.
I'm gonna say it's a 50-50 proposition.
Wow. Wow.
Are you?
No chance.
Yeah.
Oh my
No
wow.
chance.
The Hall of Fame game sucks ass.
It's still
I didn't even know
football.
what was going on until today. When on the Today Show, they had Josh McDaniels talking about it.
Oh my god, was it terrible?
Yes. Yes,
Thank
of
God.
course it was.
Okay, screw all that. Let's talk Broncos. I said it's the exception to the rule today because the rule has been defense dominating. And finally, after we were pretty rough on the offense yesterday, we roughed them up a little bit. And word has it got into the locker room material. They were playing clips of this show throughout the locker room today. And they responded because of it.
Yes, they certainly did. That's why Nate Hackett flipped me off when he walked out on the field.
Probably.
It all makes sense now.
I don't know if you're joking because that seems like something you would actually do as a joke.
No, he did not flip me off today. He's kind of the quite opposite. Although I could see him doing that as a
Yeah,
joke.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like you joked last week.
Right.
That was a joke.
I love
Yeah.
flipping people
Yeah,
off.
Okay,
It's
good.
funny. It's funny.
Like tomorrow, when I'm playing at the Skyline Scramble, like anytime I see anyone I know on the golf course from like another hole, I'll flip them the bird.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you are going to be playing golf and Henry and I are going to not be drinking beers and watching a jog through is a flip off on its own.
No one is making you guys do that.
It's the job.
By your own definition.
I mean, yeah, like you go to the practice. It's
I know,
the job.
I'm just saying, like, if you would have been like, hey, can we skip training camp to go to the golf tournament? Everyone here would have said yes.
Wow, Henry,
Yeah.
you can take that pass. You're the golfer.
No, I mean that's not. That at other companies, then that would like be something different. Here, it's like, yeah, no, I believe that's how that would be approached. Like, yeah, do your thing. Yeah, it's like, no, you gotta accountability.
I like it.
There we go.
Personal
Accountability.
accountability.
Yeah,
It's a real
that-
theme
It
today.
really is a theme
Sure
the past
is.
15 minutes.
But yeah, it was really nice to see the offense get going
Yeah.
today. Russ looked like Russ. And I thought that was maybe the most exciting part of it all is like, it wasn't all on the script, but it was legitimate off script stuff, meaning a lot of times in training camp, there's a sack that happens and they just let the play go on and like someone throws a 60-yard touchdown and you're like, I think it was a sack. Today, Russ was legitimately like breaking the pocket, making nice plays. First one that stands out to me was one to Montrell Washington, where he just escaped out of the pocket. Montrell was kind of sitting alone over by the sideline, throws it to him. Jonas Griffith tries to get over there. Montrell's too fast. There was a couple deep plays to Cortland. We'll talk about one more in a minute. The Greg Dulcich one, which we talked about in our takeaways video. I just love this from a rookie. Bootleg in red zone drills. Everything is just flowing so hard towards the right pylon. And Greg Dulcich just stops. And everyone flies by him, and Russ does a little like jump pass, throws it back, crosses body right to Greg Dulcich. So just a lot more, like, for example, I've got 2 pages of notes today, which means there's just like a lot more notable things, quite literally, that were happening.
Well, and on
How
top
big
of
did
that,
you write?
I mean, I have 1 line per observation.
Okay, skipping lines in between.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay,
won't
that's
show
a
you,
solid
though. He
number.
won't show
Well,
you,
this
though.
is just my top stuff. So like, this is
I
like
do see some skip lines.
no.
There's a lot of empty
You know,
space
Ryan, this
there.
is personal accountability.
There's
You
none
lied
here,
to
though.
us.
Okay, second page looks a little better.
Second page is all straight. The first page, what I do is I write down all the things that I'm going to say on the show.
Okay.
Like different things I want to be able to go to.
Okay.
Like this one. What did Russ cook today?
Russ cooked something good.
Yeah, he did.
He have you guys have had sesame chicken?
Last night actually.
Oh,
No way.
Yeah.
From where?
Yeah, from where?
Oh, this is
Dragon,
gonna be
Heaven
disappointing.
Dragon.
Heaven Dragon? That can't be
He
it.
says-
And I know you say. I
Raven
think. Let
Dragon.
me make sure that's what it's called.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Heavenly Dragon, maybe?
No, Heaven Dragon Restaurant. There it is. Thornton.
Heaven
Heaven.
Heaven
Dragon Restaurant.
Which I'm not totally sure what like the belief is, but like heaven Christianity, I don't think there's a whole bunch of Christians in
That believe in
China.
dragons?
we're getting
And dragons.
we're getting too deep on this. Just
That is
trying
true.
to talk
Heaven
about some
Dragon, though.
sesame
Yeah,
chicken
that's
here.
fair.
Honestly, Heaven Dragon.
Chinatown Bistro next time.
I would say that Heaven Dragon's probably a 3, like a rideometer 3. But no. Little Ollie's, Little Ollie's
Little
is where it's at.
Ollie's.
That is my favorite Chinese restaurant ever been.
No.
Cherry
I
Creek?
think I've seen it.
Yep. You have. It's been there forever.
Wait, Cherry Creek, that's too bougie for me.
This one's been here forever though.
Okay.
So it's definitely not a hole in the wall though.
Uh.
It's not bougie though. It's a great Chinese restaurant. Their sesame chicken, one of my favorite. I don't know.
What are we talking ahead?
Sesame chicken's $15
It's pretty bougie.
for a plate that serves 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean.
So yeah,
good
my
portions.
sesame chicken was $15,
Average
but
person in there,
40%
give
off.
me a breakdown of their clothing.
See, it's a little more casual.
Cherry Creek. It's Cherry Creek.
It's a little. It's Cherry Creek, but it's a little more casual.
Okay.
I would say.
I like
Ryan-
something between what you're talking about and like 99-cent scoop.
Yeah,
99-cent scoop scares me a little.
Yeah.
Right in the middle, Chinatown Bistro.
Yeah, and that's probably right. But their sesame chicken to die for. I absolutely love it. However, it's not the filet with the béarnaise sauce on it and stuff. But it's
that?
really, really good.
Okay. I will say, if you want like upper end Chinese, Hop Alley.
Okay. And are those small plates?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Small plates.
Okay. So yeah, that is an up. But yeah, Kale, I'm going Little Ollie's just a step under that.
It is a step under small plates, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like when you walk in
hell
there,
is
people have
small
like
plates?
polo shirts on.
It's because it's in
It's
Cherry
like-
Creek. It's why I
I
don't
mean,
go
come
to Cherry
on,
Creek.
dude. I wear polo, so yeah, that's.
I can't go to like Cherry Creek unless I'm like trying to like have wear like a button down, or else I look around and I'm just like, what is it? This is I don't belong here.
Ryan feels so uncomfortable with us right now, Hank. We both got the polos on.
Wow.
Yeah, you got
We're just making him feel uncomfortable.
again one of those things that you guys just like No one told you have to wear polos
true.
to work,
That's
but you
true.
just do it
It's just
anyway.
what you do.
Yep.
So this says small plates, not an appetizer, not an entree.
Uh,
What does that
Are you
leave?
looking at Hop Alley?
No.
Oh,
you're
he wants
looking
to know
at-
what a small plate is.
Oh, it's something that you get like. So let's say there's 2 of you. You probably get 3 small plates for a meal.
It's like if it's tacos, it's like the smallest tacos you've ever, like 2-bite tacos, and it comes with 2 or 3 of them.
So I love places that serve small plates because you end up getting to order a bunch more things off the menu. You get to try them more, because if you go to like a true like 3-course place, it's like you're getting the 3 things and that's it.
Yep.
And you're going to be stuffed. This is like, you could try a bunch of different stuff and, go out and maybe still have some room for ice cream.
What's great about it for me is I just get one thing and boom, there we go.
Yeah, that does make sense. I don't know. I'm not making a verdict here. I'm not sure whether that's okay with me.
Small plates.
Yeah.
You're like-
The fact of
Yeah.
small plates.
You're like 1 or 2 years away from your small plate face.
Oh,
Okay.
right.
Okay. I'm a little skeptical of this.
That'll be on your day off of the 3 nights in a row.
Oh,
Yeah, there we go for some small
okay.
plates.
Okay.
I would say like my favorite restaurants around here go that way.
Huh. Is that like a new thing? It's like
I would say
kinda
so.
hipster?
I think
okay.
so.
Last
yeah.
5 years,
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
really kind of blew up.
Interesting.
It's a big thing in just like for like foodie restaurants.
Yep. It's on the bougier side.
It is
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
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 What did
I'm
Russ
saying
cook?
Russ cooked
Small plates?
maybe the best thing you can cook that takes a while.
Okay.
Green chili.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Straight up cooked a green chili today because he had to take some time. It wasn't on the script. It wasn't quick, flash it in the microwave, let's go. It was get all the ingredients, get them to kind of mesh together, let it steam, let it brew, and then he made magic, which is what green chili is magic in a bowl. So I thought he was able to make some really big plays. Took a little bit of time, but that's what he does. And then I guess this is a good segue into the highlight of it all, the end, right? Because that's what green chili is all about. You take all that time, it all leads up to the finish when you get to eat it. And it was the move the ball period, minute 48 on the clock, situational football. Broncos down 14-10. Let's hope that's not the score at the end of ball games this year.
I don't know. That would be right around the score you think they should be. It's an average offense.
24-21 is what I'm looking for. Needed a touchdown to win. Minute 48 on the clock. Starting at I think they actually started at the 20.
It was their 20. Yep.
Yard drive. Starts it off with a little, I believe it was a slant to Jerry Jeudy.
No. It was a 17-yard pass to Alberto.
To Alberto, you're right. Yep, it was. And then they get stopped. They get a false start. So now it's 1st and 15. It goes all the way to 3rd and 15. He gets 11 back on a slant to Jeudy. Then 4th and 4 comes up. And pressure.
Still on his side of the field, by the way.
Still on his side of the field. Pressure in his face. Lobs it up the sideline to Cortland Sutton. Just gives him a chance. Something we've talked about so much. Just give these guys a chance on the outside. Cortland goes up over Ronald Darby, brings it in, converts the first down. Very next play, somehow Trey Quinn is on the field, and
He's
he
getting all that
catches
work.
a sweet. I think it was like in Madden, I believe they call it the stick. You go out and up, and he hits him for 18-yard touchdown to essentially win the game. Maybe left a little bit too much time on the clock for being nitpicked.
It's really, and Russ ran up to the line and got that play to Trey Quinn really quick. And Kale, I think we have the video of Cortland Sutton's touchdown. Or not touchdown. The big play he had. And why isn't Pat Surtain on Cortland here?
Got the matchup they were looking for. I don't know. Pat, maybe Pat was on Jerry. What?
So
They filmed that with like a camera? Is that just frame by frame?
so this is
Added sound underneath a series of pictures.
Right. So obviously Ronald Darby's in great coverage on Cortland there. I mean, just right next to him, and Cortland just does a great job to use his size and throw his arms over, make the catch, secure it for a 34-yard gain on 4th and 4. What do you think of that decision?
Gave me a big Cliff Kingsbury vibes. I feel like he is always like running slot fades on 4th and 4.
I can't tell if that's good or bad because you love
No,
Cliff,
I don't anymore.
but now you're fading him. So out on Cliff, but in on Kyler.
Still in on Kyler.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Cliff has to stop falling off the cliff halfway through the
Yeah,
season.
that's fair. Don't forget, Kyler's falling
I
off
will
that
say
cliff,
this.
though.
it's like the easiest throw to make against big pressure because you don't need a lot of time for it. It's just, hey, throw it up. And that's what it was. They brought Jonas Griffith on a blitz. The pressure was bearing down on him. It's like you just have to throw something. And Cortland Sutton's the guy that can go get it. So it's not what I would prefer, but let's say they had, they wanted to run like a zig route there. They probably wouldn't have time for it. So it's the easiest thing to throw when they're bringing a blitz. Just throw it up and let them go get it.
Okay, so now you say not the biggest fan, but I understand your reasoning. Now, what do you think of it when I tell you this? There was a whole miscommunication there. That was not supposed to be the plan. Russ and Cortland were just on the same page there.
Explain more.
Nathaniel Hackett said it was funny. He was laughing and said, it's funny. That was not supposed to be the play. There was a miscommunication and things happened, but Cortland and Russ made a good play. So on 4th and 4, and you move the ball period
Game's on
to
the line.
end the game, game's on the line, and no one knows what they're doing. Now,
Well,
I don't know where
is
the
it possible,
miscommunication was.
Cortland ran the right route, but no one else did? Or
Potentially, and obviously those two were on the same page, and it all worked out in the end. But to me, that's a bit concerning.
Yeah.
In the most important part of the game. Now, it all worked out, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah, it's one of those things that'd be like a fun little story to tell after a game. Like, why the play that won the game for the Broncos was actually a bust or something like that,
Yeah.
Maybe it was all wrong and Russ just saw Court running. He's like, oh, it's my best chance to play some 500.
Yep. And then the very next play, and what I think Russ, and what we learned was Russ called that next play. That was 100% on him. He loved the matchup of Trey Quinn on the outside, and it obviously worked. Trey Quinn was pretty darn
Who's he
open.
matched up with?
I don't remember. I mean,
I guess it was Bassey.
I would think so too, being Trey Quinn. My only reason of saying would it be Pat out there is because Darby was on the other side, just the play before when Cortland got him.
Yeah, all that matters to me is it was with the ones,
Yeah.
Someone tweeted at me like Trey Quinn eye roll emoji, and I was like, and what?
He's been working with that group a lot.
I know.
And I mean, who else are you going to go to right now? When you don't have a lot of your guys at receiver depth, you're going to be getting the Trey Quinns of the world, the Seth Williams of the world, the Darius Shepherds of the world, which I'm sure we'll talk about in just a second. But one more thing.
One of the funniest tweets someone sent at us.
One more thing.
Was he on your guys' roster? Because he wasn't on mine. That's my excuse.
I thought I just knew his name. But actually, Shepard spelled weird.
Yeah.
I think you get a squiggly line underneath.
Okay.
I shouldn't say weird. I should say spelled different.
Spelled different.
No, it's weird.
All three of us spelled his name wrong in our tweet about his 60-yard touchdown. Which, you would think Darius Shepard, just by process of elimination, one of us would have got it right.
Yeah.
Who was closest?
Ooh.
I got the first name right.
Darius?
No, 2 R's.
2 R's. Okay, I think I just went 1 R.
I think I got the first name right. Let's
see here.
Can you pull up the tweet?
I can find mine here pretty quickly.
I
said DARIUSSHEPARD, most simple spelling it could be.
Yeah, that's very wrong. I think I might have, for once in my life, spelled something more correctly than you. Let's see. Bada-bum. Darius. I can't find it right now.
Jeez, man. Stop tweeting so much.
I know. Seriously. Do you know what you said for yours?
I don't. I will say Russ cooked French
I spelled
toast.
it with 1 R.
Just
I
like
got
me.
the second name right, though.
Oh, okay.
His last name.
I can find what Henry spelled it pretty quickly, but you can talk while we do that.
Cool. I'll say Russ cooked some French toast. Some good French toast, the good bread. I don't know what it's called, but real thick, but also fluffy. There's the powdered sugar on it. It's a big helping. There's a side of bacon. I don't know. I don't really like fruit on French toast, but I know people do, so I'll say there's some on there. Because it was a good day and good food and all that sort of stuff.
Strawberries on your French toast?
It just brings the average down.
What about ice cream?
It doesn't. It brings the average
Never
up.
had ice cream. I'd imagine it's good. No. You got cinnamon. You got the bread. You got all that sweet stuff.
Yeah, throw ice cream on it. And there you go.
I'll
Ice
take
cream
that.
on French toast? How have I never thought
That-
of
I know,
that?
it sounds incredible.
Because it's a breakfast food. You're not having ice cream at breakfast.
And that's the thing, is you leave eating this piece of French toast thinking like, maybe I should have just had like a couple eggs or something, because you're kind of like bloated and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, you ever had like stuffed French toast?
Actually, no. I've heard of it though.
So good.
But yeah, I mean,
That does sound good.
all the good things happen, but like there's the 4th and 4 thing where it's like, oh, okay. Or like he hit Jonas Griffith in the hand a couple plays
You
before
can't
that.
take credit away from him for a completion on 4th and 4.
Oh no, then don't take credit away from him for hitting Jonas Griffith in both
Yes.
hands, and Jonas Griffith thinking about kneeling the ball before he caught it. Like there was that in there.
There's one thing.
You
It's
know-
like I was thinking about trying to return it for a touchdown. You were thinking about kneeling.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm so excited to kneel this. It's gonna end practice, yeah. But then the other one is, I mean, they were supposed to have another move the ball session. You know, incompletion on 1st down, just a missed throw. Incompletion on 2nd down, high ball to Jerry, not a bad throw. Jerry can't bring it in. 3rd down, there's the deep ball. Cortland trips. Then you also have PJ Locke down with an injury. That's the end of practice. They don't have to try the 4th and 10. And you know, if you had tried and lost on that 4th and 10. Those other ones. So there
I
are
was
just
so worried that you guys were gonna try and say the defense won if that happened.
you have to see it would have been. Yeah, we don't have to go down that road though. The point is, there are these couple of things that you look at and say like, okay, but still, like easily Russ's best day. A lot of good French toast. Just like maybe a little grumble in tummy if you overthink it.
By the way, I'm giving Zach closest to the pin on the spelling. He got the last name, which is very weird.
Yeah.
Correct. Shepherd. Shepherd.
Yeah.
I get last place here.
What can I say? I'm just great at spelling.
Yeah, you're
wild.
the king.
I still know how I spelled that wrong. Like I looked down at the roster. I was like, oh, Darrius, and I guess I just didn't even look at the last name.
I say I get a free pass though.
I
The
do
Broncos
not.
didn't update the Hill roster.
Yeah,
No.
that's
I
tough.
didn't even know who it was for like 6 minutes.
How did you
And I
figure it out?
I just process of eliminationed it.
Huh? Should Google.
Wow.
I was just
How
like,
did you
okay.
process of elimination a guy that wasn't even on the roster?
What I'm saying is, I was like, okay, it wasn't a running back because he's wearing a running back number.
He was.
The Broncos haven't signed any new running backs
Mm-hmm.
recently. It's none of the wide receivers. It just has to be the new guy.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Very impressive. And you just knew the new guy's name?
I did know that. Yes.
You knew his name, you just didn't know how to spell it.
Yes, exactly.
Fair. Very fair.
Not to be confused with like Darius Leonard or Darius Slayton.
Yes.
Because when I saw the name, I was like, that seems like a memorable name that I recognize.
Darius Leonard, though, no longer Darius Leonard.
What?
Wait.
Yeah.
Right? That's linebacker for the Colts.
Shaquille.
Yeah, Shaquille is what
That's
he
what
wants
his
to go by.
family's always called him.
Shaquille Leonard.
What are we doing here?
He got to the NFL and people just called him Darius because that's what was written down. He got to the point where he could say, actually, no, that's not my name.
I hate this because I
Nobody
want to be
cared before.
respectful of people, but I also want to be like, sorry, bro, too late.
We named you and we didn't care about you. Now you have the clout to speak your mind, but no.
J.R. Smith one year was like, I'm different now. I'm going by my real name, Earl Smith Jr.
Ah,
He literally, like, I remember it, first game of the season, like on the graphics on altitude, it was like Earl Smith Jr. And I was like, this is not working for me. And then literally the next game, he's like, all right, never mind. I'm going back to J.R.
Earl Smith. That
No.
doesn't fit.
No, definitely
He
not.
doesn't play like an Earl.
Okay. Other things that just, go into the offense winning for you guys today?
I mean, the move the ball period, and that is, and I've held it against the offense at times when those past few period, the last period of practice is always the most important, and the offense has not won those. Not only did the offense get the touchdown today, but you have Nathaniel Hackett saying it's the first time they've ever done this in terms of an end the ball at the end of a game period where they have to get a touchdown, and the offense was able to come through. And just the other reason, and really it's all about Russ. Russ is the one that Nathaniel Hackett is in Russ's ear saying, you can do this, but he lets Russell Wilson decide the plays. And that just shows what type of quarterback they think he is because, 8 days into training camp, and Russell's already calling the plays in a move the ball period with under 2 minutes left. And I think that also shows just where this offense is at because of Russ, that they're able to do those things already. I think that's a really good sign.
I think so too.
Yep. I thought the run blocking, especially in those early team drills, there were a couple great just well put together running plays. Again, like nobody's going to the ground, so it's tough to evaluate the running game, but it did seem like the blocking took a big step forward today.
Yeah, to me, it's like it was just I don't know what I would call it, like the overall body of work today. Just felt like the offense was consistently doing stuff. Like, I'm just going through my notes. I forgot to even talk about this. Like, I thought might have been Russell Wilson's best throw of camp early in the practice to Cortland Sutton coming on a crosser, and he like drops down the arm angle and slings it into a tight window for maybe 15 or so, and it was just like, ooh, it kind of got him going maybe. But as I just go through here, I'm like, Travis Fulgham did a thing today. Like, he caught a slant. More work for Eric Saubert, where he had another, a couple nice big plays. Melvin Gordon had maybe the best run I've seen of camp. There was a sweet little throw to Jerry Jeudy on a crosser where he did the spin move around Justin Simmons. Like, maybe Justin gets him in a game, but it was still a nice play. You just go through. I said tight window to Saubert. Like, I just haven't been able to write this many things down on my notepad about nice throws and stuff all camp.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think there's a lot more to talk about. But first, got to tell you about our friends over at Evoca TV, where they're the new GOAT in Colorado sports. That's greatest of all TV, because
No, I'm not. We're not gonna work for me.
Okay, not gonna work. GOAT. Yes, you're right. Well, they're the GOAT.
Television.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
GOAT of all television.
They
there
are
you
the
go.
GOAT of all television in Colorado, because you can get the Rockies, you can get the Avs, you can get the Nuggets, and on top of that, you can get crystal clear HD while using less bandwidth. And guys, it's only $25 a month plus a $5 receiver fee to get all the Colorado sports that you need. And right now, if you go to evoca.tv/Colorado10, that's evoca.tv/Colorado and then 10, you get $10 off your first 3 months. And the awesome thing about Evoca is there's no catches. You don't have to sign up for a long-term contract. It's that simple. It's that cheap to watch all the Colorado sports.
And Owen, if you are like me and you like going to the gym, although I am between gyms.
Wow, big gym guy.
Yeah, but up until like a few weeks ago, this whole like living with the girlfriend thing, like there's no gym across the hallway.
Wow, don't tell her that. She's going to think, wow, you get with me and now you settle.
She heard last time.
Everyone knows about
she heard about the smoothies.
Serious girlfriend 15.
Apparently. But the issue is I'm actually between gyms, but I do like the gym, and I've been thinking a lot about how badly I need to get back into one. The point is, Owen, protein shake. It helps. It does like the protein shake things where it's like, recovery for the muscles, build the muscles up. All those things that people who drink a lot of protein. Yeah,
He's
that's
what
it is.
Arms showing off his muscles.
Yeah,
and
the muscles.
Not quite sure much is popping out.
If you don't want your arms to look like this, drink Owen.
There we go.
There we go. Can you mix that with athletic greens?
I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay. Well,
I mean, like,
just do one after another.
Okay.
Yeah,
do one before, you drink the Owen after. That probably makes sense. It's 100% plant-based. It means only what you need. It's Owen with a Y, not need. Pretty cool. 20 grams of protein, different flavors, all that sort of stuff. And if you use the code DNVR20, you can get 20% off your first purchase at liveowen.com. It's liveown.com.
Love it. And also, sign up for our final golf tournament of the year, the Kickoff Classic over there at Raccoon Creek. Going to be an absolute blast. Just the perfect way to start off one of my favorite weekends, because the last weekend before we really go into our like NFL season grind. So for me, it's going to be like golf tournament Friday morning, Buffs game Friday night, lot of drinking, all of Saturday, just couch potato from 10 a.m. to midnight, maybe even past midnight, depending on what time Hawaii kicks off, watching college football. It's a perfect way to start that weekend off. Like, great weekend to take Friday off and just go play golf
really
with the homies. So sign up for it. Go over to DNVRlocker.com to get in, buy your foursome, or you can just buy one, and we'll pair you up with some other cool DNVR members.
There we go. I love it. And there was also other things from practice. Ryan, you're kind of naming some standouts. Another guy that jumps out to me is Deshaun Williams, because at first, when practice started, the first play was a Deshaun Williams sack. Then they run the ball. Then they have another pass play. It was a Deshaun Williams sack. Then they run the ball again in the next team period to start. Then it was a Draymond Jones sack. The first three dropbacks were all sacks,
Wow.
I believe, which was very concerning to me. And then once the protection held up is when Russ was able to get going. But at first I was really worried there. Not only was I thinking another defensive day, I was thinking this may be the worst offensive day we're going to see.
Yeah, probably not supposed to do this. Don't care. I've seen a couple formations where they're putting Deshaun Williams and Mike Purcell on the field at the same time.
Some big boys.
Yeah, which I find to be pretty interesting. And Draymond Jones. So really going heavy. And then I think the other one was Malik Reed. And I think they really like Deshaun Williams. They want to find ways to get him on the field.
He's good.
He is good.
He's not great, but he's you need 6 linemen. He's easily one of those 6. He is good.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Totally.
Sharpie? We getting the Sharpie out today?
Yeah, we're getting
Let's
the Sharpie
go.
out. We're getting
Sharpie
the Sharpie
in. Deshaun Williams on the roster.
Yeah. I mean, especially, I feel like for the most part, it was pretty easy for us to get the first 4 or 5 defensive linemen. I think 5, and he's one of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Another guy who has taken a huge jump this week, Baron Browning. Guys, it may be time. It's not quite time yet, but it's going to be time soon to break out the Sharpie for him being the starting outside linebacker opposite Bradley Chubb with a little asterisk with Randy Gregory's health. He has jumped Malik Reed in the past 2 days, and he has been not just rotating him with the ones, he's been the starting outside linebacker outside of Bradley Chubb, and this doesn't surprise me one bit because we saw Baron Browning against twos just destroy them the first few days of training camp. I think on Monday he had 2 sacks against the twos, and then he finally jumps up to the ones, and he's staying there.
I love that. He looks like... It's weird to say this because I was so anti-outside linebacker Baron Browning.
Yeah.
And I'm totally willing to be wrong about that. But now he looks like an outside linebacker. I don't know how to explain it. Mentally, I've made the switch of accepting him as an outside linebacker, and I just see him out there. I'm like, yeah, he's an outside linebacker.
I completely agree. And if he continues to develop like this, what do you do at outside linebacker to, in week 4 when Randy Gregory's healthy?
Trade Malik Reed.
Okay,
Trade
come on.
Randy
We're
Gregory.
talking. Yeah, we're talking about pieces way down the line if that's the case, because you also have Nick Benito, a guy that we haven't talked about much.
He made some plays today.
He did make some
He
plays
also got
today.
smacked by Dylan Parham, the tight end number 48.
Yikes.
Pole block. Nick Benito, I was glad he wasn't hurt because it was right as he was going to reach for the running back, so his arms were out, and then he just got absolutely truck-sticked by Dylan Parham.
So flattened on the ground?
I don't remember.
Okay.
But it was so loud. That was the big thing. It was just bam! And I was like, okay, they're popping the pads today.
Yeah.
Especially in the run game, they were getting after it.
Yeah, they were. And something we haven't mentioned, this was nearly a 2.5 hour long practice today. This was their longest practice of camp, their most high intensity one as well.
As you can tell from my glow, a little extra sun today.
Yeah.
It was
Definitely.
hot.
It was really hot.
It was so
I
hot.
told Henry, maybe it was the length that got to me. I told Henry, I was like, by the thermometer, that wasn't the hottest practice, but it sure as hell felt like it.
I thought it was, yeah.
It was so hot. It was just dumb hot.
I thought Damari Mathis looked really good
baby.
today.
Yep.
He has an extra gear that I felt like we saw today that I hadn't seen yet, and he used it on 2 big plays.
Yep.
One was the diving interception. I can't remember who the intended receiver was. Might have been Montrell.
Trey Quinn.
Okay, or Trey Quinn.
Broncos tweeted it if you want to pull it up, Kale.
There we go. Just broke on the ball with so much speed and dives and makes the interception. We'd been kind of waiting for that. He had a diving interception earlier in camp that he dropped, makes the play today. And then later, again, I'm forgetting who the intended receiver was, but they kind of sat down in the zone. And it's that whole thing where it's if the throw gets there right when he sits down, it's easy. But Damari saw it, broke on it, was able to get his hand in there and break it up. And so it's day after day. I feel like when a guy makes plays, 4 days in a row, that's when I start to be like, okay, that wasn't just he got lucky, the ball came his way. Damari Mathis keeps making plays.
And that's exactly what happened with Baron Browning. He made plays multiple days on second team, then he got bumped up. What are we seeing happen right now? K'Wan Williams is still not practicing. Saying Bassey, he's not bad by any means, but he has gotten beat a couple of times, pretty much every single practice.
We haven't really sang his praises very much.
Wow, there we
Oh,
go.
boy. There we go.
And so why not give Damari Matt? He's your 3rd round cornerback. you might as well give him a shot.
Totally.
Shiver went down my spine when you said third round cornerback.
He was third round, right?
He was fourth.
I think
Fourth.
He was
yeah.
fourth.
Fourth round. There you
Yeah.
go. No shivers.
Yeah.
I'm back.
I saw on the NFL Reddit today, somebody wrote out like whatever team's rookie grades so far. Like throw in your teams. And I was just curious. Nobody had Broncos. So I was like, what if I just like write out my grades and maybe use them for something at some point? And so this
You
morning
post
I was
them
like,
on Reddit.
I could, I guess, just put them on Reddit. I have a platform, Ryan. I have other places to put things.
Wasn't
I thought
that the
this
whole
was going
point?
to Reddit. Yeah.
No, but I did just like write out just because I was like, this is probably like a good exercise to think about these guys. But Damari Mathis, I gave him a B because I was like, down the field, he's been awesome. Underneath, like with all this breaking stuff, he's been good. But he has gotten beat. Like Trey Quinn's beaten him a couple times. There's
Everyone
plays
gets beat underneath.
Exactly. But he hasn't been perfect. And I was like, give him the B just because there hasn't been the one thing that you point to and say like, But this to me, it felt kind of like that Montrell Washington moment a few days ago where he gets like the big plays and the touchdown. And it's like, okay, finally broke through. A bunch of good practices and now this, and now you can just say, yep, that's an A performance so far in camp.
Yep, I agree. I've been impressed from him. Trying to think of other guys who stood out to me today. I thought Alberto had a nice practice.
He did.
He is slowly but surely, I feel like, building more chemistry with Russ, and you start to see that shine through.
What was so weird is early in OTAs, Alberto was Russ's go-to guy. And it was every single practice, multiple times, and not just short stuff, for the 20 yards-ish. And then we haven't seen it the first week of training camp. And it's just been so weird because that chemistry was there. But like you're right, Ryan, we're seeing it pick back up.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy, again, I thought he had a nice day. The one thing that's disappointing is that throw deep down the sideline in the final move the ball period that ended up getting cut short with the P.J. Locke injury, which he appears to be fine. It's just, first of all, there must have been a miscommunication between Montrell and Jerry. Someone didn't run the right route because they were both in the exact same spot. But Russ puts it up there where only Jerry can get it, and he goes up to get it, and I don't even know if he got a finger on it. Like, it just went directly through his hands. Yeah. And it was a difficult throw. Like, he was fully elevated for it. But if he makes that play, then I get to turn around and say, great day for Jerry Jeudy. Mm-hmm. Now it's just like one in a list of 3 or 4 good days he's had.
Now that one... Sorry, Henry, go.
A great receiver makes that catch. Like, as we figure out, like, what Jerry Jeudy is, like, is he a 1,500-yard receiver? Like, if you're a 1,500-yard receiver, it's because you're making that catch. It's like, if he doesn't make that, he's still a good receiver. Still maybe even borderline Pro Bowl receiver. But just be nice to see him get a couple of those, you know?
Yep.
Now, did he have a drop in the end zone during a red zone period, too? There were some people saying that one tipped off of him, and we honestly couldn't see it with the angle.
That was not a drop.
Okay.
I don't think. That was one that Justin Simmons got a hand on.
Oh, man. Not only a hand. It went right through both of his hands.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then it
that
hit Jerry.
should have been a touchdown.
Yep.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if it hit Jerry's hand
been an
before
interception.
or after Justin.
Yeah, the defense dropped a couple today. Maybe
did.
could have flipped the script if they bring those
If they
in.
get both of those, it is a flip script. Defense
Easily.
wins.
But I never do. Like, I hate when people
Resoundingly.
do that. Like, could have been interceptions. Like, you either got him or you didn't.
And that's why the offense won.
Yeah, that's how sports work. It's like, who did what? And it's like, Jonas Griffith dropped that one. Cortland Sutton got the other. There you go. That's how the day works.
Jonas Griffith, man. I can't believe he dropped that.
I know. But and it's still, I was think back, it's like, I wish I could watch that play again because it's like a seam route. I didn't see if it was like a tight end or a slot receiver, but he had to get deep for that.
Yes,
like
he
he had to
was
turn and
sprinting.
run, and he got there and got 2 hands on it.
was
It's
right
like,
there.
wow, that must have been all of the tools coming together for him to be able to get 2 hands on that ball in that spot.
Well, in Russ, I think if you talk to him about it, he would tell you he was surprised that Jonas was able to get back that fast because I was watching the play. It was coming kind of like right in my eye line, and I saw the same thing. Like, if I was playing Madden, I would have made that throw. Like, it looked like Alberto got far enough away. I think the biggest problem was Russ just didn't get enough on it because he had pressure in his face. But he still would have thought, like, if Jonas Griffith doesn't get a hand on it, he completes that. And I think Russ would tell you, like, I did not think he was getting all the way back to get that ball, let alone intercept it. But Jonas did have another really nice play in the end zone where Eric Tomlinson, the alien, turned around, was just kind of standing there wide open. Russ throws it to him, and it's one of those things where it's just like feels like it's taking a million years to get there, even though he threw it hard, and Jonas was able to get his hand because he was so open. Jonas realized it, runs over, gets his hand in there, and breaks it up.
Yeah, exactly. Another guy that is standing out as this week goes along is Melvin Gordon. Again, getting the start today. Just when we thought this thing was over, Melvin just continues to get one more leg up. And it's interesting because that split in training camp is almost 50-50 now. Javonte still has more days where he's a starter, but now Melvin's on a streak.
Yeah, it's funny because I've suddenly become I'm the least surprised by all this. It feels like Melvin's a better fit for this offense.
By day 6, though, when it's still Javonte starting, you weren't buying it?
No, I just know what Melvin is, and it's so tantalizing for a coach. He's so consistent, and obviously the fumbles are like his one, Achilles heel, but he's really good at seeing those holes, and it's going to take him a long way. I will say Mike Boone is also really good at seeing those holes. I just keep wondering, what is stopping him from being a good running back in the NFL? And I don't know the answer to it.
Yeah, and I remember when the Broncos signed him, and he had such a great training camp last year.
Yep.
And then you also added up to the 200-yard games he's had in the NFL, and you're like, why isn't this guy see the field more? And then last year, did he get 3 handoffs?
Well, he's hurt for a big chunk.
Mm-hmm. All in the same game?
Yeah.
So, they didn't use him at all.
So weird.
Yeah, that was the one game. Javonte missed that game, right?
Probably.
I think Javonte missed
Unless
that
it was a Chiefs game.
There was Chiefs. Then Melvin missed that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was. But yeah, all 4 carries that one game.
I think he had one good one, didn't he?
I actually pulled up the stats, 4 for 35. One
Okay.
was 16.
Yeah, okay. So
yeah, he was pretty solid. And
I'm telling you, dude, I swear he's the only thing stopping him from being a good running back in the NFL is just opportunity.
yeah. Year before, 5.4 yards per carry. Year before that, 5.6 yards per carry.
But
First year, 4.3.
But what do we say if in training camp, if there's a guy that stands out and then he just doesn't play, there's got to be something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2 guys in front of him, one's a second round pick and the other one's getting paid.
No, I think Mike Boone's good. I think you should not put him on the field. You have 2 good running backs.
It's hard for me to say that. He brings something that the other 2 don't.
I think he's gonna get a little more run this year.
I think so,
than
too.
Last year.
Got a booner.
Oh my gosh! See, now if I say it, he's gonna accuse me of going over the line.
Of
No,
course.
you're going to say it's raging or something.
No, because
Throbbing.
maybe, yeah, that makes sense there.
And then I'm like, bro, why'd you have to do that?
Pulsating.
God damn it. Okay. Anything else from practice today? Notes, standouts, observations, overreactions, anything?
Draymond Jones with maybe the quote of the day, and he spoke for maybe a minute and a half on the podium. And so if you want to watch that, it was kind of entertaining. But he
Entertaining
said,
in a good way?
No, not really. I guess kind of. He answered one question. Someone asked him a question. I don't remember what it was at all. And his response was this. He went, "Yep," with the finger guns. Wow. And that was it.
Is Draymond Jones anti-media?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And so, but one of his quotes, which was kind of funny, was he was asked about DJ Jones, and what he said was, DJ Jones is more of the bull, and I'm more of the deer. And then there was a follow-up of, is that like an analogy you've been using with him? He's like, no, just made it up right now.
Yeah, it's not a good one.
I don't know why he would really call himself a deer.
Yeah, like a cheetah.
Wouldn't he want to be the bull on a defensive line?
And see, that's the thing
bull's
is
good.
if you were to have a deer on a football field, you make it like a receiver, and even then you're probably thinking
exactly.
can I get an elk?
But he's
Yeah,
going to
you're
say,
getting pushed
he's the
around.
bull, I'm the horns.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be a better option. I mean,
Also,
deer
if we're going deer, it's definitely Malik Reed.
Yeah, I like that. Uh-huh.
So, all right, let's work on the animal scale here.
go with like even
So
a
you
gazelle.
start with DJ Jones. He's the bull. We have to work our way down.
Yep.
What would
Bovine
Bradley
only?
Chubb be?
Ooh, strong. Could be a moose.
But
I
a
like-
moose is bigger and more powerful than a bull.
I think
Bradley's powerful.
Pretty
Bradley's
close.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can like.
I think
can
he's
go with that.
moosey. Yeah, Randy Gregory
A
has a
little
little
more
bit.
rangy than a bull.
Yeah, he is.
Well, then I feel like DJ Jones is more of a rhino. If we're trying to make it right,
Bovine
Okay.
only.
you know,
or
that's
like,
just huge.
that.
Rhinos are
Yeah,
bigger than bulls, right?
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are. Then is Draymond a bull?
Oh, Draymond could be the bull.
Yeah. Why didn't he get bowl to himself?
I don't know.
I feel like
He's
I
not
would be
the
a
deer, I
deer
can
of,
tell you that.
of a defensive
Right.
lineman.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe in his world, I'm like a frog or something.
He's like, you're a mosquito. I'm a deer.
Yeah, somebody should have asked him to keep going with these.
Can we get an animal for every player on the team, Drew?
He would have walked off the podium. I guarantee it.
What caused him to be that way?
I don't know, but it's been like that for a minute.
Usually, I can point to something.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
not
know.
like anyone's ever called him a bust or anything like
No.
that.
No, Madden did call him a 75.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
that up with them. All right, let's give a shout out to our presenting sponsor again, DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can get a sign-up bonus up to $1,000 when you use the code DNVR sign up. You can also get a $1,000 free bet, risk-free bet.
Yep.
So that means you can
Gets
bet
me too.
up to $1,000, and if you hit it, cool, congratulations, you just got whatever you won. Probably $1,000 or more.
Yep.
If you bet, you should bet $1,000 on the over in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, gosh.
Just to jump right into your degenerate lifestyle. But if you lose and it goes under, and you feel like an idiot because you thought Jarrett Stidham was going to throw a bunch of touchdown passes, well, you're going to get a free bet and get yourself another chance at it with DraftKings. So they're giving you a chance to take 2 big swings for 1 hit at DraftKings Sportsbook. I just made that one up myself.
Hey, how about that?
So check it out, DraftKings Sportsbook. Use the code DNVR. Age eligibility and restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
So right before you have Owen, Henry,
Yeah.
you get an 8-ounce glass of water, throw some athletic greens in it, stir it up, boom, pound it, then you're set. You have everything but the protein needed for your day. Then you hit Owen up, and then you got your protein as well. Because what Athletic Greens does is they give you adaptogens. What's that again?
They
We don't need
Help
an
you adapt to
explanation.
things.
yeah, they make you an adapt. Yeah,
Exactly. They also
Grow
give you
horns.
75 vitamins and minerals. They give you probiotics, which are so good for your health, especially your gut health. And they get you a ton of greens as well. And it's cheaper than your cup of coffee. And
Wow.
if you want to get in on this, go to athleticgreens.com/Broncos and you will get a free year's supply of immune supporting vitamins. And you'll also get 5 free travel packs by going to athleticgreens.com/Broncos. Guys, this stuff tastes really good to me. It just tastes like a little citrus flavor, and it really helps you feel better in so many different ways.
Tastes like you're just getting healthier.
It does.
Every sip, you're just like, wow, I just got healthier.
But
That has-
citrus.
yeah.
But citrus with it. Because when people say healthier, they think it like tastes disgusting.
Yep.
But
No,
it's healthier
that-
with like a citrus twist.
I don't ever think when I'm drinking something that tastes disgusting, like, oh, I'm getting healthier.
but we're saying the reverse isn't always true. But when
Fair.
you say this tastes healthy, that
I
has
like
like
that.
I think it's a...
no, I like the taste
like,
too.
typically
like a
a
shot.
bad
Have you ever have like a
connotation.
wheatgrass shot?
Yeah.
No,
That tastes
I have
healthy,
not.
but in a good way.
Yeah, that's true. You ever have a ginger shot?
No.
I'd recommend. It burns in a good
oh,
way.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Malort?
Yeah, probably. So check them out, athleticgreens.com/Broncos.
All right, let's get into the questions. Any super chats?
No super chats today.
Week. Let's go into the questions on the website then, which you can do if you're a member over at thednvr.com. The first one comes in from PS2 himself.
wow.
He says, after listening to yesterday's pod, I want to give my input on the lackluster offense. My number one reason to not press the alert button yet is because Russ is the master of the deep ball. The one thing he really struggled with last year is forcing the ball deep. If you go and watch Seahawks games as a team, they could not get the short passing game going at all. The only way they could move the ball is by throwing it deep. So hopefully Russ realizes this and is just mastering short passing. Hopefully he unleashed the deep ball today. He
Well,
kind of unleashed everything.
Yeah, and he did get the deep ball today, which takes some worry off. But honestly, that was my worry, was he wasn't hitting the deep ball and wasn't connecting on the deep ball either. Now, after today, I don't have to talk about that much because he did hit it.
Yep.
Yep. The best one I thought was the one to Cortland late in practice on like the deep post as it got all the way over to the other sideline. Maybe it came from the slot. I don't know when it started, but it was just one of those ones that just like he just let it go, and every second of the way I was like, that's a perfect pass.
Yeah, and that was on PJ Locke. That was probably PJ Locke's worst play of practice, or not of practice, of camp, because Kareem Jackson was taking a rest day today,
An old day.
or as Hackett said, an old day.
I love that.
Do I get an old day? Me and Kareem are like the same age.
Oh, I'm your age too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get an old day tomorrow. I get an old day on Saturday.
Let's
How about
do it.
that?
Let's
Make the
do it.
young kid work
Wow.
both days.
Yeah.
And Henry, that's
Kareem
actually what is
seems
happening.
That's actually
so much older.
they were taking old days.
I know. I'm gonna be here all alone. Kareem seems so much older than you, though.
It is weird.
Like
How
I had
old
never
is he?
put that in perspective. He's 34.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot older.
And football age, that is a lot older.
Yeah,
And
that's
just, like,
true.
That's true.
If you think about like
Yeah.
how I am now versus what you expect me to be 4 years from now, like
Oh boy.
probably got a kid,
Yeah,
married.
you will be really archaic. that is for sure.
Yeah.
What if I told Kareem he was having an old day?
Oh,
How would he
God.
feel about that?
I feel like can't be an every down safety if you're not out there at all.
Oh boy, I'm gonna avoid that. Avoid even joking about it.
Let's make that the clip, Kale.
Tag him. We know he looks at that. PM Bronco says, "Hi guys, thanks for the honest and high quality commentary on training camp so far. I'm not panicking yet because of what you guys have talked about since Russ became a Bronco. This first year is not Super Bowl or bust.
You read my column.
The offense should come together by the end of this year, so I'm not really even a little upset that they haven't completely gelled together or gelled through less than 2 weeks of camp. Of course, I want the players and coaches to show out, but I truly believe in them, so I'll withhold judgment until the real games start. Also, just want to encourage everyone to not take DNVR for granted. I've been trying to find something similar to listen to for Titans coverage since they've become my second team, and DNVR is really a unique model for sports journalism. I appreciate what you guys do so much. Hopefully, the next comment I drop will be as a Nash Bronco. Peace out."
Nice. What do you guys think about second teams?
You can't be diehard with a second team, in my opinion.
Having two teams that you listen to a podcast for is like you're in.
That's
Yeah.
big time
Like,
dedication.
I would call the Eagles my second team. It's just like I've adopted them by proxy through Allie. I would never consider like listening to an Eagles podcast just on my own.
Totally. Yeah, I could never do it.
I'm not saying he shouldn't do this. I'm just
Yeah.
I can't even. Maybe if you're not a fan of like all the sports, it makes it easier, right?
Sure.
Because my other teams would be the Avs and the Nuggets and the Buffs and all that stuff. So it's like, well, if you're just a football guy, maybe you have time. You have time to work in multiple teams.
Yeah, that's
Maybe.
a good point.
That could be. To me, though, like I just can't even imagine caring about another team in any of the sports.
Yeah, and the way I think of it is, well, the Titans and Broncos play. Obviously, Behan Bronco is going to be pulling for the Broncos.
Yep.
But it'll probably be easier for him if the Broncos lose that game because it's his second team, and that goes against sports a little bit,
A little emotional hedge.
Yeah.
By the way, thank you for the nice comments. Maybe one day we'll have the NSVL. Titans podcast.
I love it. And thank you for rolling with us, Behan Bronco. Next one from Zia Tortilla. So DNVR isn't on iHeartRadio any longer?
People always say something like this stuff. I'm like, I didn't even know we were there in the first place.
Right, yeah. We're on pretty much everywhere else you find podcasts.
Email help@thednvr.com. Maybe someone will have an answer.
I had forgotten about iHeartRadio.
My guess would be iHeartRadio is pulling an RSS feed from somewhere, bringing it onto their platform. I just don't know. So it could have been like through Google Podcasts. I know there was a couple issues with that, so maybe that's how it's happening. But yeah, email help@thednvr.com and maybe we'll be able to figure it out. Or maybe they just don't like us.
Maybe too much of competition.
Yeah, there you go.
Ohio Bronco Alex says, fellas, I would like to know your
Super Bowl
yard.
champion, by the way.
Oh, yes. Fellas, I would like to know your yardage and touchdown predictions for Court, JJ, and KJ this upcoming season. My predictions
These
are below.
steep.
Court, 1,350 yards, 10 touchdowns. JJ, 1,250 yards, 9 touchdowns. KJ, 600 yards, 4 touchdowns. That's 3,200 yards and 23 TDs for the trio. In my opinion, that leaves about 600 to 800 yards and about 7 to 10 touchdowns for the rest of the receivers and backs on the team. Russ typically throws for around 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns.
Not this much. I will say I'll go on the aggressive side here, and I'll say Court. I have to change this all now with Tim. I'll say Court goes for 1,150. Jerry goes for 1,050, and KJ goes for 700. I'll go more aggressive on KJ.
I had 1,150 for Sutton, 1,000 for Jerry, 800 for KJ.
Okay,
So similar.
Very on the same plane.
And I'm going to go 600 for KJ, just availability. Then
to
I'm
me,
going
it's like 0 or 700.
Fair. Fair. I'm going to flip Court and Jerry. I'm going to say Jerry leads the team in receiving.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, and I like your guys' numbers, 1,100 and 1,000.
5 to 8 touchdowns each.
Here's the thing is, I agree this is how it should work, where 2 or 3 guys have the very majority of the receiving and touchdowns. It just doesn't work out that way. All the other guys on the roster are going to combine for more than 600 to 800 yards.
Dan Burke says, "Hey guys, would you say Montrell is standing out in a similar way to Trinity Benson last year, or is he not quite there yet?" I'd say quite the opposite. He's better.
I would imagine. I didn't see Trinity Benson last year.
Trinity
but I would
Benson,
imagine.
what he did have going for him is he also made big plays in the preseason games.
Yeah.
So that's to be seen.
Here's what Montrell has going for him is you see it trending up, and you see a ceiling that he hasn't reached yet. With Trinity last year, it was like, this is really cool. This guy's hitting his ceiling right now, and he's either going to make this roster or be traded for a draft pick and make another team. But you could kind of tell that was his ceiling. With Montrell, like the play he made, the touchdown he made from Russ, he didn't really use his speed to make that play special. He used the speed at the very end, but he's doing other things than just relying on one aspect.
His hands have been strong.
Yes. And I think, and the thing that stands out to me about Montrell is that he has done basically anything you could ask a receiver to do, except for like jump up and just moss somebody. Like you see him making
It's
plays.
not gonna be him.
Exactly, but he makes plays down the field. He had the touchdown on like the out route. He has the crossing routes. You see him tap his toes. You've seen him make catches like in on his chest, but outside of his body as well. Like there's just a lot of pieces to his game that I didn't expect to see.
Also, there's been like a few long touchdowns. Maybe does he have all of the long touchdowns? Because he had the one yesterday or whatever day that was. Not yesterday, the day before.
Our guy Darius Shepard.
I was going to say,
Oh,
except for him,
the Shepherd himself.
spell his name.
DARRIUS
Okay, good.
SHEPHERD.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow.
You're a quick learner, Ryan. We'll
thank
give you
you,
that. Next one coming in from Talking Schmidt. He says, hey, guys, been loving your coverage and honesty throughout camp. I heard some cat grizz talk on the pod yesterday. I currently go to Montana, so F those cats.
Hell yeah.
If you
Damn
guys
right.
could witness a game at Washington at Grizzly Stadium, I would highly recommend it instead of the Cats high school field. My question for all of you, which coaching position would be on the hot seat first if things go downhill this season and or next? Have a great day, gentlemen. Let's
love
ride.
that.
Someone's going to be tuning in right now and hear us saying who's going to get fired first and be like, why are these guys so negative?
I would say Evero would be the one who would be most in danger. Like if it's not going to be Hackett. With all due respect to Justin Allen, he doesn't affect enough things to be on the hot seat.
Yeah, if Hackett's firing Outen, then Peyton should really be considering firing Hackett.
Right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
Totally. He's like scapegoat. He's like, this guy, man, look at these game plans.
When you think of like things that could go wrong, like receivers could just not be as good as you expect. Zach Azani's a holdover, not like.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I mean, maybe. I don't think this is gonna come up.
I don't either. Coaches are as good as their quarterbacks on all sides of the ball.
Yep. It
And
is
so
very
they're going to
true.
be quite all right. Big Hank Stan says, who do you think was better at drinking games on the 2018 Washington State football team? Gardner Minshew or Max Borghi? Definitely
I'll go Gardner Minshew.
Yes,
Yep, Gardner
100%.
Minshew.
I'll take the guy who tried to smash his hand with a bottle of Jack Daniels to try and smash his hand with a hammer after drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels to try to get a medical red shirt.
What a guy. And he wasn't successful.
Also, he's been living in a bus.
A prison bus.
Yes.
This offseason?
Yes,
Oh.
outside of a gym. He worked out a deal with the gym where he could like hook up to their electricity and just parked his bus in their parking lot. So he just works out there, showers there, and lives in the bus.
How did that only come out like a week ago?
I don't know.
Like, you would've
how
thought,
did
like-
he get tweeted a TikTok or something.
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
2 months in, and that's the first time anybody's like, "Hey, wait, is that Gardner Minshew living in a prison bus in the parking lot?"
So he's probably loving being in a hotel with the team
Yeah.
on the team's dime.
Is he
these
on a
2
team?
weeks. Is he
Yeah.
with the Jags? No, I'm
No,
sorry, not the
the
Jags. The
Eagles?
Eagles, yeah.
Yeah. Your second favorite team.
So he was living there just. I thought he was living there just like as a bit to like show how committed he was to the game to try and get signed.
No, he's your backup quarterback.
Yours.
He's great. I feel really good about our backup situation.
Oh my God.
He goes on also, what's your all-time favorite drinking game? Does it involve cost-controlled quarterbacks, relationship metaphors, or the phrase "open your eyes"? And yes, I'm working to get a DNVR Broncos pod bingo set. Love, Hank Stink.
Hank Stank. You're going to be drunk.
What actually is your all-time favorite?
I'm all Rage Cage. Rage Cage. I'll play
you
that for
always
4
try to
hours.
Influence some Rage Cage
Yeah.
whenever we party like that.
Which one is that? There's so many different names.
Big circle
Bounce
cups.
bounce
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Boob cup is what we always called it.
Yep.
And everybody's like, what the
Yeah.
hell's boob cup?
Boob cup.
Because it looks like a big
Boom
boot
cup.
because you have the in the middle. Yeah.
Moon Cup.
We used to play a game called Titty Pong, which you had to bounce. So you were square table.
Okay.
You have to bounce it across the table, and your partner has to use their chest to
Oh
bump
my
it into
gosh.
the cups. It was actually really fun.
That's a fitting name.
My favorite was a game we called, I'm sure other people do too, Asteroids.
Okay.
So you take 2 empty beer cans. Those go on the outside corners of the ping pong table. Mm-hmm. Then you have 2 full beer cans in the middle.
Okay.
I take the ping pong ball. You would be on the same side as your teammate.
Okay.
I throw it at the empty can. If it hits the empty can, then you guys have to collect the can and the ball and get them both back onto the table. While you're doing that, my partner chugs their beer. Whoever finishes both beers first wins.
We
So-
called this beer ball, but great game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I called that drink ball, but there was you because that's what you're doing, and except the only difference is there was no cans in the middle. It
How
was
did you
just
finish?
The cans that you're throwing at were full cans to start. Those
Seems
were like
it's gonna
your
create more of a
cans.
mess.
yes, it does, because you hit one and it's open and it falls over.
The best thing I love about it is it's kind of like baseball, where like the stadium that you were playing in made a big impact on the game.
Yes, some home field advantage, depending on what side you're on.
Yes, yeah. When I was at home, like my parents' kitchen, sorry parents, it kind of like lines up right next to a hallway
Oh yeah.
on one side. So like I would always play on this side.
Yeah.
So if you hit it right, it would hit off the can and just go all the way down the hall.
Then they're toast.
Yeah.
We used to just have home run derbies down this really long hallway with ping pong balls and like a wiffle ball bat because you gotta see how far you can get to go before it hits the ground. So you have to swing so hard to just get that trajectory.
Was there drinking involved?
Probably before.
Before,
Yeah, I think
I mean, yes, not directly though.
Hank Sand goes on and says, also, Talking Schmidt, if you currently go to the U, why aren't you taking one of my classes? I'll give you half a grade free for being a DNVR listener.
There we
That's
go.
what community's
Yes.
all about.
Yes,
baby.
it
Yes,
is.
I will also want your tickets, student section tickets, like your guest pass when I go up there.
Let's
Big
go. Me
Tony
too.
says, my boys, I missed commenting on the last few pods. O and R are also letters. Since I missed the last few days, choose 3 letters today. Feel free to make any guesses as well. Okay, so there's 2
Okay,
words.
what is the word? Do we remember like what it's representing?
I don't know if we have a.
Yeah, I don't think we have any.
I think it's a surprise coming for you guys.
Oh. good
Oh,
memory.
this is
Remember
it.
because he was coordinating with someone and we don't know who.
Okay.
Okay, so it's blank
love
O
that.
R blank blank O blank E
We have to be able to
New
get that
word.
second word, and if we can get the second word, we should be able to get the first one.
blank O A R blank S.
So
Cool.
We haven't missed a letter, so all the other letters are open.
So that letter in between the R and the S, is that like E?
It can't be.
Oh, it can't be E. Great. Oh, this is very.
right.
I already have a headache thinking about this.
Can't be A E. Could it be I?
I?
Oh,
Boris?
I don't think it's Boris.
What would come before an S and after an R?
That's a tough one. Like I think like
Oh.
a K, but
No,
nothing
we already
fits
did
there.
those.
Like an N, but that doesn't.
Horn.
Could it be
No.
chorus? You?
No.
All right, we have to stop.
Okay,
Bad podcast.
so let's guess 3. Let's guess 3 letters now.
Oh,
we get to
that's
choose
right.
3 letters today?
3.
I mean, T's a common letter.
Yeah.
Okay, T, I like that.
We've got a lot of vowels. We could
Yeah.
take an A if we wanted, or we could just go with what we
We
have.
got A already.
Oh shit! Well, there we
Yeah.
go. I'm not guessing an I. Who does he think I am?
We guessed E.
S? No, T.
Already have it.
Yeah,
Yep,
so
T.
let's go T. Do we
What about N?
I like N.
T, N, and
Should we take kind of a flyer?
what?
Like a...
I.
Let's do it.
It's not
Okay,
a flyer.
let's do it. Okay, I like it. There we go.
T and I.
T and I.
TNI.
TNI. He says, no question, Dave. Just excited to see, or just excited to melt away on the hill at camp for next week. Haha. On things we will do for our squad. Oh, the things we will do for our squad. Praying that the Waltons have something built to provide shade to the fans by next training camp. Fingers crossed. This is all Big Tony out.
I know they're selling awnings at Walmart.
Oh,
1999.
yes. Oh,
I
yes.
know.
And he actually wasn't out. He says, also, how's Brett Rippon looking? Any chance he beats out Johnson for the backup spot so we can give 11 to the rightful owner? Big Tony out again.
I would rather talk about punter than backup quarterback.
Wow.
That's backup quarterback. I mean, Hackett almost. I wish he would have said that today when asked about it. He said it's an open competition.
Yeah. Yes, there is a chance.
There's a chance, but I'm still taking Johnson.
Johnson's bomb today to Darius Shepard
Yep.
was kind of like, it doesn't totally level what we've seen, but it is the first kind of step
Best
back.
deep ball of camp
Yes.
by
Yeah.
anyone?
Yes.
Yep.
100%. I'm already smelling the pizza, Hank.
You shouldn't be. You better be smelling the pizza you're about to buy me.
No, it's not
Denver
it.
Rival says, hey guys, today's the day. Denver Rival celebratory happy hour at Green Valley Ranch Beer Garden. Show some support to the Alzheimer's Association, get some drinks and meet some fellow football fanatics in person and watch that great game, the Hall of Fame game. Today I have a wild thought involving a football parallel. Montreal Washington was picked 162 in this year's draft. He's a special teamer, surprising everyone with his receiving ability. Another guy who was picked up at 165 with a similar startup in 2016, Tyreek Hill. Could Montreal grow into a Tyreek-type role for this Broncos team? Love to hear your thoughts about a Go Broncos y'all rule and hope you see some of y'all tonight.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
Oh,
Hank's drunk already.
He's just not fast enough.
No. And the thing is, everyone tried to get their Tyreek Hill after Tyreek Hill broke out into the league, and no one's been able to get him so far. Maybe the closest to Tyreek Hill is going to be Jalen Waddle, who he's playing with down in Miami. He could be the Broncos version. No, not even, because Tyreek is also just a really good receiver, too. So, no.
Yeah, no.
Bronc Oiler says, I know our wide receiver core is largely viewed among the fan base as a strength and possibly the X factor for Russ Wilson. But in light of the Tim Patrick injury, I'm starting to think it's more of a question mark than a strength. We've got Cortland Sutton, probably the surest thing we've got, but haven't seen him look special since 2019. And he hasn't necessarily jumped out of camp either. Today he did. Jerry Jeudy, immense talent, but hasn't really proven anything to this point. Has drop issues and questionable attitude at times. KJ Hamler could be a top-end burner, but can't stay healthy and is a speed guy coming off an ACL. And nagging hamstring injuries. Tim Patrick, good size, reliable, willing blocker on IR. That was dark. And with a whole
As dark
bunch of,
as you yesterday talking about
Wow,
Tim.
yeah.
I got some DMs saying they appreciated that. From me.
Wow.
They like a real man. Let's keep it real. I'm not even joking. And then a whole bunch of unknowns. Again, don't mean to overreact. There's a lot of talk about how good this group could be. But at this point, I'm not sure how good they actually are. Well, I think we've had this conversation quite a few times about. I specifically remember an off-season pod where we said they're one injury away from being a question mark.
Yeah, and now they're that one injury there, and now you have to have both Cortland and Sutton be special. Be really good.
Cortland and Sutton.
Have Jerry and Judy be special. You have to have Judy and Sutton be special, and I'm both of the. There's a question for both of those guys, certainly.
Yep.
Sutton, Surtain, and Simmons.
Oh God,
That is just killing my brain.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a little scary, but at the same time, quarterbacks make wide receivers in the same way that quarterbacks make offensive linemen. And so,
Yeah.
Montreal Washington can suddenly be like a passable weapon for you because you have Russell Wilson. And it's like, hey, we just need you to run good deep routes.
Passable weapon. See what you're doing
Yeah,
there.
you could pass to him.
Yeah.
I think they're probably fun. I mean, if Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy just play kind of like the baseline we've seen from the last couple of years, you're not in love with it, but that's good enough. And I think between Washington, Hamler, and those others, your wide receiver 3 spot is fine.
Wide retriever.
Wide retriever. We might need a t-shirt, Montreal.
I keep coming back. Like, that's the way that I go to sleep at night is I'm just like, no other team is freaking out over losing their third most talented wide receiver.
Yep. And if it does, then your team wasn't that good anyways.
Probably true. And you should just be able to replace that production with a combination of Alberto, KJ Hamler, Montrell Washington, and let's say Seth Williams.
Yep. You should be able to.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I think that's the last
I think
question.
we had a super chat come in too.
2 super chats.
Two.
Wow.
First one coming in from Ivory Hotline. Woke up to my car being broke into. Ever happened to y'all?
Oh, geez.
Damn, dude, that
That is
sucks.
a
That
bummer.
does suck.
Very
that
sorry to hear that.
has not happened to me.
My car has been stolen twice in high school.
Wow.
Yeah, right outside my house.
Just Gonzo?
Yeah, Gonzo.
The same car?
Yeah, the same car.
Did they
not
catch the
completely
guy?
Gonzo.
No, not completely Gonzo. No, the first time it was found, I think a couple hours later, and the next time it was found a week later.
Wow.
You ever
I bet
think,
it was
what's
this.
the end game when you steal a car.
They
I never
probably
hear
used
of
it to
someone-
commit a crime.
Yeah, their end game the second time was do lots of drugs in it.
Oh.
You could do that anywhere.
It's true.
It doesn't have to be in Zach's car.
Maybe that's just like an extra thrill. Like, let's steal a car and do some uppers.
I guess it was the same guy. He's probably like, oh, we need a place to do drugs. This guy's car. like I know how to get in.
This reminds me of The Other Guys. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Yeah.
They keep breaking into his Prius and like having like homeless orgies.
That's right. Yep. That was a fun one.
I've never had my car stolen or broken into. I don't
No.
think so.
That's good.
Also,
What?
the being
It
written
happens
as
to a lot of people in my apartment complex. I'll be
Oh
honest.
no.
he wrote as like I woke up to my car being broken into.
Oh,
Like
he saw it.
like what do you
Yeah,
do? Like
he
it's
went
like
live
out.
action.
Yeah.
start firing at him out the window or something.
just
He
think
was
he has a
call the
gun on
cops.
him?
Like, I mean, it's 50-50.
Maybe.
All right.
All right.
You just say like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
The
My-
safe thing to do is probably just to like let it happen.
But my
Call
thing
the
is like,
cops.
it's so
Cops
weird.
are not showing up.
You
for
never
that.
hear about someone's car getting stolen and never recovered. Like, I know of a lot of
Right,
people who've had their car
right.
stolen. No one's ever been like, "Yep," and it was just gone.
It's gone forever. If that happens, it's probably for insurance purposes. Like you're like, I didn't want it back anyway.
Yeah, the cops are like, "Look, dude, if your car was really stolen, we would have found it."
All right.
All right, and then coming in from Logan Beaumont, we haven't donated in a while, but football season has hit me. Got tickets to all games except for 2, thanks to the half price ticket sale a few days
Solid.
ago.
Those half price tickets are
Nice.
tough to get. My girlfriend tried to get some. She didn't.
So that's
Her
what I was going to
roommate
say. Is
did.
I stopped trying
Yeah.
Oh, really?
because like 3 years ago I tried and just didn't get any, and I was like, this is giving me like flashbacks to when I was trying to get World Series tickets for the Rockies, and
Yeah.
I spent a whole day just refreshing a
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
It's like actually a traumatic moment in my
Wow.
life. And so I just don't do it anymore. The fact that he was able to get like 8 games.
That's incredible.
I think he must have just gotten one because you can only get one, unless like he coordinated with friends and stuff.
Oh,
But he probably had others beforehand.
it's an inside job.
Yeah, that's what we used to do. Like we used to pick a game to road trip to, and we just get like the 4 of us, and we'd all just log on with our computer and phone and see if anybody got them
for a road game.
for a home game.
For a
Because
home
we were in
game.
Montana, we
Gotcha.
drive down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Nice.
kind of a road
Well,
game
congrats.
for you.
I'm just hoping, since Henry wants to be in the press box for all the games, I'm just hoping to go to the games with his dad.
There we go.
I know. He was like,
Four-person
yeah, well,
pod after?
Yes,
Wow.
bring Dean on the pod.
yeah. I won't be the one to say no. I'll say that.
Let's go. That's how I'm going to entice him to bring me.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, if you
that-
come with
that
me,
would
then we
work.
can go back to the bar after and do the pod.
You can share all of your thoughts.
Yes.
Just anything on your mind. He would love to hear that.
Let's go.
Oh boy.
All right. I think that wraps it up for us today.
Yeah, no more super chats.
Cool. This has been great. Fun as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit us with a thumbs up on YouTube. We really appreciate those. Also, wait. I'm going to do something really quick.
Oh.
No one log off.
Oh,
This is big.
This is juicy. It's a tease.
The other day, I said, hey, we've been getting some people coming after us in our iTunes reviews. Like, would really appreciate it if you guys hit us with some 5 stars. So, thank you to SHBDUHSAEHG.
Rolls off the
I know
tongue.
him.
Thank you to Background Sports. Thank you to Ravioli Pop Tarts. Sounds kind of good.
Yeah.
Uh,
no, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
ravioli Pop-Tarts?
Just take out the part that you're used to them being sweet. Like it's just now you just got cheese and sauce. It's a Hot Pocket.
It really is a Hot Pocket.
From BDP
Okay.
Cole, they've been rolling in from Jody, from Madtown Bronco fan.
Love it.
A lot of people leaving 5-star reviews. We really, really
Thank you
appreciate
all
you
so
guys
much.
for doing that. And so keep them coming in, and I'll keep naming names on the podcast.
I love it. Thank
or
you all
series
so
of
much.
letters.
All right.
We'll talk to you guys later.